As I'm filming this, my channel now has over 420 subscribers. It is almost the end of the year, so I'm filming this video to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Whether you're subscribed or not, it don't matter. And yeah, 420 something subscribers, to me it means that it's a good thing here, and it motivates me enough to keep going and to get even better and to blow it out of the water next year. Get monetized. It's not all about that, but it certainly it would help a great deal. And of course today, like always, I'm going for a bike ride. It's beautiful outside. +4.
Well, not so fast. Let's have a look at that chain first. The first step in lubricating the chain is to make sure that it's reasonably clean. It's not perfect here, but for this winter application, I'll call this good. For the moment, I want to go for a ride, so I'm just going to slap some lubricant on there because this isn't too bad. Yeah, this isn't what it says on the bottle. It's a light oil, and I got some graphite powder in there for more permanent lubrication, because the oil helps it penetrate inside the roller, and of course the oil is a good lubricant by itself, but the graphite powder I believe is superior, and it also stays there long after the oil might have been worn off. Yeah, this chain should be lubricated about after 150 kilometers or so, and I try to keep to that, but when I'm perfectly honest, it's possible that this goes much longer, because I tend to look at the chain and then think, oh well, that's good for the ride. These chains are wearable parts. I expect to wear this out before the end of the winter. If it stretches more than like 3/16 of an inch, it's enough to put extra strain on my sprockets, so I will change it at that point. So once I put my lubricant on the chain, I just crank this a bit and make sure that it gets distributed well. And after that, I take my rag, I wipe off the excess on the outside of the chain, because all it does is catch more dirt. So now I need my hand here to turn the cranks, so you can just envision what I'm doing. There's the crank. Turn this whole thing. Sorry about the motion, but the idea is to get the excess oil off the chain. So Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm a big fan of Christmas. Yeah, well, I'm kind of being sarcastic. Who really enjoys getting blasted with Christmas music? And it's the same Christmas music we have every single year, starting on the 1st of November, which is the day after Halloween. And then, well, normally it's all a big shopping event, but I know that after Christmas the garbage bins are overflowing everywhere, and I believe that continues to be throughout the year, because a lot of what people spend their money on Christmas is not durable stuff. It's just stuff that ends up in landfills. So I have my reservations about Christmas. However, I gotta say that when I grew up, Christmas was a big deal, you know, and as kids we had a different experience in all this. Yeah, when my sister and I were kids, we weren't allowed in the living room on Christmas Eve until like really late, which was for us probably at 10. And then there was a beautifully decorated Christmas tree, and all the presents were underneath it, and they weren't high dollar in those days. Hi doggy. Hi doggy.
Hi.
Hello. Well, what I mean to say is that Christmas wasn't so commercialized back then. I remember the best Christmas present that I had as a boy was a model railway that my dad built. And you know, I played with that a lot after that, and it kind of defined a couple of years of my growing up. It also inspired me to build my own landscapes and things that would fit on the railway. Anyways, today, Christmas for us, for Barb and I, is usually our big Christmas present is a trip to a country that we like to explore by bicycle. However, this year is going to be a little different because we have this worldwide pandemic going on, and just this morning I checked on two of the countries that we were considering going, one of them being Mexico, and there are actually no restrictions for Canadians to go to Mexico. All you have to do is fill out a form declaring whether you had symptoms or you were sick or were in contact with somebody who had COVID-19, and well, you're good to go. However, the COVID numbers in Mexico are high, and we figure that, you know, there's always a risk to catch this disease, and there's always a risk for it to get bad enough that you actually need medical attention. And at that point, being in a place where there are probably hundreds and hundreds of people who need it worse than you do, and who are from there, who are covered by their insurance or medical system that is locally in place, you know, as foreigners, we probably wouldn't do so well. And some people would shrug this off and say, well, you know, your immune system is good enough, you can fight it off. But on the other hand, why take the chance? We can just wait another 6 months, maybe another year for our next big trip. And in the meantime, we'll just have a good time here in Alberta. Look around, it's beautiful. Ah, and there's a doggy. Hi there. Another thing that I wanted to record is a few points about my winter bike. I've gotten lots of comments about this perhaps being the wrong bike for winter, and I agree to some extent, disagree to another, because this is a good all-round bike for winter, but there are some things that are not perfect for winter. For one, I wouldn't mind having an enclosed chain like some of the Dutch bikes used to have, with perhaps an internal hub, 3-speed or something like that. However, when it gets extremely cold, the lubricant in those hubs tends to freeze up really, really hard. So there's a disadvantage right there. The derailleurs, they tend to work even at -30. The only problem here in Alberta, or probably anywhere where winter is like this, is that they get extremely dirty, they corrode, and then eventually you just have to replace them. See, and we got this brown snow there everywhere, and I got fenders on there. You see what's accumulated in the fender versus on my bottom bracket, so that's a good thing, actually. Those new fenders that I put on this bike recently, they make a difference. The V-brakes, they're not ideal neither. I was considering to build myself wheels with drum brakes instead, but again, they work. I tend not to use the front one hardly at all when I'm on snow and ice. What else? The tires, yeah, the tires. They are not the most knobby ones, but I got studs on there. See, there's one. There's one here. Now, I've gotten a lot of comments about why don't I have a fat bike? I need a fat bike. Folks, that's just another bike. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not a big enough winter cycling fan to put maybe $2,000 or so toward a fat bike and then throw in another $600 for studded tires. And then I have to store it somewhere. And these things are slow. They're like, you know, it's not the same kind of riding. So what I like to do is in the winter, whenever possible, and we budget for this, believe me, we sacrifice during the year to have a little budget for travel, for going somewhere when the winter here gets nasty. That's in January, February, perhaps even parts of March, but usually we can manage 2 months. This year, so far, we haven't decided what's going to happen, but it doesn't look good, believe me. But anyways, the reason I'm making this video is to show you the beautiful North Saskatchewan River behind me. Beautiful orange bike also behind me. Can you even see that? I have to point the camera like this, see? Morning. So anyways, I wish everybody, all my subscribers and everybody around the world who's gonna get to see this, a Merry Christmas and all the best for an awesome 2021. So there you go. I hope you stay with me.
Merry Christmas.